Okay, so I received this email from this girl, and I think it's very touching and it's very inspiring. And yes, I did receive an email from her in response to my video, because I talked about this email in my Urdu stream, and she said, "Oh, thank you very much for your answer," and she really appreciated it. So have a look at this. This is something that will tell you how important our work is, and we are making some progress. We are making a bit of a difference. We are just tiny bit, maybe tiny bit, but that tiny bit, as I always say, there might be statistics, the air travel is the safest form of travel, but that stat is meaningless if you are in that plane crash. You'd be like, why me? Man, they said it's the safest. I didn't die in a train accident. I didn't die in a car accident. But here I am. A plane is going down. Woo! So it doesn't matter. Those stats become irrelevant when you're in the midst of it. Just like the... you have 1 in 10 million chances of winning a lottery. It doesn't matter if you're that one who's winning the lottery. So just like that, as lowly impacting my work or our work or work of ex-Muslim community might be, it is so much in the life of one individual whose life is totally turned around. And yes, there are 1.246 billion, the number keeps getting revised, Muslims in the world. You can't change them all, Haris. You are fighting a losing battle. I don't care about that. I don't get intimidated by that number, but I get encouraged by one email from a person who goes, I don't know what's going on. So this person hasn't converted. She hasn't become an ex-Muslim or an atheist yet, but she's going through a very, I wouldn't say troubling, but I would say very weird type of phase in her life. Have a look at this. Listen. Assalamu alaikum. Haris brother, I'm a hardcore Muslim girl, and I don't want you to disclose this and want you to reply me on my Gmail. And she's okay with that because I hid all her details. I used to be a very modern girl, but I got to know some facts about Islam, and I got very peaceful after offering prayer, namaz, and Quran, and then I started observing hijab from my cousins and all non-mahrams as well. So she's saying she was a very modern girl, out and about, living the life, perfectly normal. I know what she means by these modern Pakistani girls. They go to shopping centers, they wear these modern shalwar kameez, they're not fully covered up, they do makeup, and they may be fine, like, oh, that boy is cute. So they do all of that. So she's talking about that, and she's saying, okay, I was that kind of a girl, but then I found God. I found Allah. And then I started praying, and I started reciting the Quran and everything. Her life turned upside down, and she started finding peace and comfort in that. She even started wearing the niqab, or hijab, not the niqab, just the hijab. Not Muhammad hijab. Ugh, you wouldn't want that. So she started hiding herself from her non-mahrams as well. Like non-mahrams, let's just say mahrams are like your brother, father, husband. I don't know if uncles are, uncles, maternal and paternal uncles, I think, and everyone else is non-mahram. So even your cousins, etc., they're non-mahram, meaning you have to cover yourself. You can't show your face to them. Okay, so, and then let's see what happens. Then I tried to ignore your videos, but still I saw many of your videos for the sake of answering your misconceptions, especially about Maria Kiptia and few others. So those of you who don't know, just put in Haris Sultan, Maria Kiptia. Maria Kiptia, those of you who don't know, was a sex slave of Prophet Muhammad. Actually, she was a slave girl of Hafsa, Prophet Muhammad's second or probably third wife. No, sorry, third or probably fourth wife. Hafsa, daughter of Caliph Omar. And as the legend has it, I love telling this story. I love it. This is so... Actually, no, I shouldn't laugh because I got told off by an individual that I shouldn't laugh at the exploitative ways of Prophet Muhammad, or Muhammad in this case. Shouldn't even call him Prophet, some people say, but it's a self-proclaimed title, which means absolutely nothing. So just keep the peace. I say Prophet Muhammad. So, as the legend has it, that one day Muhammad went to see Hafsa on her turn, and he saw this beautiful young Egyptian girl, Maria Kiptia, which he know of, but who knows what happens. Allah works in mysterious ways. That moment, something happened in the heart of the Prophet Muhammad, and he said, "Hey, Hafsa, my wife, your father Umar is calling for you. Go speak to him." Hafsa puts her niqab on and goes to see her father Umar, and Umar says, "No, I didn't call for you." Bells ring in the head of Hafsa, and she goes back. She knows, "I left Prophet with my slave girl alone." She comes back, and all she sees, lo and behold, Prophet Muhammad is doing it on her bed. It's mentioned in Ibn Kathir is mentioned in Ibn Hisham, Al-Jalalain as well, but not as explicitly. It's been mentioned in Ibn Abbas, I think. Actually, anyway, it's a credible story, been mentioned so many times. And then Muhammad said, "Oh, no, don't tell anyone. I would never touch her again." And she was like angry that you're having sex with her on my bed, on my turn. Like I get my turn after 11 days. Poor girl has to wait that long. And probably only gets 2 minutes after that. But anyway, so Muhammad says, "No, I'm not going to do anything." And but Hafsa tells Aisha, and then Allah gets angry, and then 6 verses, chapter 66, the first 6 verses come from Allah threatening these women, saying that I am standing with Muhammad. These women, I can make Muhammad divorce you and replace you girls with better wives, so make sure you apologize to Muhammad. So, Muhammad had Allah on his side, so these verses would come in his defense. So anyway, so this is what she's referring to. That there's a video, she watched that video. I think that video in Urdu has had over 200,000 views, so it's pretty successful. A lot of people have seen that video. So she's referring to that. She wanted to prove me wrong, and she wanted to educate me that no, this is not what happened with Maria Kiptia. So, what happened? And few other. My iman shook a little bit. That's why the verses were coming according to the situation of Prophet Muhammad. Exactly. It just doesn't make any sense. Prophet Muhammad is having a crisis in his life, in his sexual life, and Allah is just sending verses in the Quran to save his boy. Hey, don't worry, I got this, that kind of thing. What the hell is this? So anyways, and yes, I haven't seen any rights given to women here in Pakistan. My father used to beat my mother. My husband, who recently passed away, and I'm just 24, he used to beat me, and while arguing, he used to say that you have to listen to your husband, even if he's a donkey. And most of the men in Pakistan treat their women in the same way, like some Maulanas, like Bolo Bhai Bolo, like Mufti Tariq Masood, who actually says in his Urdu streams quite a lot, he says, just give a backhander or whatever, like he encourages wife beating. And then they do mental gymnastics, and they say, no, not like that, just in a lighter way and all that. But, these guys don't outrightly condemn wife beating. It's a no-brainer. This is such an easy target for us. Like Quran, the final book of Allah, authorizes wife beating. I mean, you have a little domestic problem, and what is the creator of billions of galaxies and all these planets and all these complicated life forms? What is the best solution given by Allah? Stop talking to them, stop having sex with them, and then beat them. Isn't that genius? I think a 10-year-old child can come up with a better solution. But yeah, these guys, this is their Achilles heel. So ladies, don't stop using that. This goes against. They have literally no answer. This is why they're so embarrassed. They say, "Oh no, you just beat them with a tissue paper or with a toothbrush." It's just symbolic. Even then, it doesn't make sense. It's just not right. So anyway, so this is what she's referring to. And obviously, this woman would have had this experience of being beaten up by her husband, and her husband, while he's beating her, he would be also telling her, and yeah, Quran says that you should listen to your husband. That same Quranic verse says the men are the maintainers of women, so they have a higher status. So anyway, so she'll live through that. Anyway, Because he's your protector and spends money, you should tolerate his bad language. Yes, this is what the Mufti says. I still think that why Allah is doing this with me, even when I'm praying regularly, not even missing my Fajr morning prayer and reciting Quran daily. So I found many videos and posts in front of me that have patience. I didn't get that one. And this worldly life is hard for a true believer. Yes, it is. When you have so many, beautiful things in life, and like life doesn't get out of control. I can have a glass of wine whenever I want to, but I'm not drinking 24/7. I'm not a sex addict. There are no women out there lining up to spend some time with Hari Sultan. No, just a normal life like you. Even the fact that I don't have to pray 5 times a day, I think it's a great relief. Why should I waste my time over something that is, that just doesn't mean, there's no evidence for it. But anyway, you're doing it, but here's where it takes its turn. So anyway, so she's right, the worldly life is hard for a true believer. As the world gets better, harder it becomes. I really don't know, and I'm very confused, but I don't want to take the risk of burning in hellfire and also cannot change my lifestyle. As I told you that I've become a hardcore Mu'mina and famous for some things that Islam actually makes better. And also why Prophet Muhammad prayed day and night, and his wives are the witnesses that he prayed too much that his feet got swollen. So basically her concerns are, first of all, she says that I can't change my lifestyle, even though she's only 24. Trust me, girl, you find the right guy, he hits that spot, he just stimulates your brain intellectually, he has those conversations with you, you find that guy. Or you don't even need to find a guy, but I'm just saying that just makes it easier if you find a really good company of opposite sex, if you are hetero. Or who knows, you might be swinging the other way. And in that case, if you find another girl, you'll be like, yeah, this is life. Screw this Momina crap. So that is quite possible. It could also happen because you're 24. As I said, you're young. You're not 54 or 64 in the advanced stage of your life where you'd be like, okay, well, I've lived my life. I'm not going to change. So you can change, first of all. But the second thing she says, I'm scared of hellfire. This is one of the most common problems that everyone has. And I keep telling them, if you're not worried about burning in Christian hellfire, why should anyone else be worried? Or why should you, logically speaking, be worried about burning in Muhammad's hellfire? Why? You're not worried about Christian hellfire because according to Christian, Muhammad was a false prophet. And if you don't believe Jesus is the Messiah and the Savior of mankind, then you're going to burn in hell. So why are you not worried about that? You're not worried about that because you were not indoctrinated that way. You've been given the Islamic view of Jesus. So you don't worry about that. Just like that, once you think logically, you wouldn't be worried about hellfire. There is nothing special about Islamic hellfire. Once you get to know this, there's absolutely nothing special about this. And you'll realize this. And lastly, she said, why did Prophet Muhammad prayed day and night? His feet were swollen. Look, most of these stories were written after his death. We don't know that. People do this all the time. People pretend to be something. I don't know, maybe he was meditating. Who knows? He was just making them look like, hey, someone... Is my wife watching? Okay, Allah. He could be doing that. I don't know. First of all, we don't even know if it's true. So whatever. It just doesn't make any sense. And people, and this is a character, right? When people play a character, they go to extreme lengths. Like they go to prison. They lock themselves up. They become recluse. So they can feel like the character. So people have done it. So it's no big deal. It's really no big deal. You're thinking like a semi-rational person. You wouldn't be 100% rational if you believe that Islamic hellfire is real. So anyway, so that was the letter that I think I got from this girl. And anyway, she's still a practicing Muslim, but these things are troubling people. So keep raising those points. You might think that you haven't converted them. If I had spoken to her 3, 4, 5 months ago, however long ago, I would have been like, yep, this is a lost cause. She's never going to change. But people are constantly thinking. People are revisiting their positions. So don't stop with these bullet points. When it comes to women, 3 crucial points. Wife beating is allowed. The statement is worth half. The inheritance is really low. And then the other part is multiple wives and sexual slavery, which is clear injustice to women. To help me produce more videos like these, support me on Patreon or PayPal.